Welcome back. How was your day? That good, huh? So you noticed the issues with your peers in dating. Which one? You're seeing some folks dating someone new in less than a week, huh? I see. Well, have a seat. Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. 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 I see. So to sum it up, you got person A who was dating person B. Person A has a reputation for being kind and considerate and had a crush on person B. Person B, upon receiving person A's confession, accepted. Then, at some point within a week, person B dumped person A for person C, who appeared to have a higher social and financial status. However, person B claimed the reason for the breakup with person A to be related to emotional unavailability. But according to those who know person A, that's not true, and person C is known as somewhat of a Chad, if you will. Did I get that? Okay, so a couple of questions. What is person B like? So, according to bystanders, they're known to be materialistic and narcissistic. Okay, so this is person B's fourth partner within a month. I see. Have they shared any reasoning why they can't hold a relationship? Person B claims there are no good people out there. Did person A know about person B's past dating history? No, I see. Do we know person B's recent partners and what they were like? Previous partners were big shots. Okay, sounds like they had higher social statuses and a lot of mystery to them to a degree. Probably don't throw out compliments left and right. What about person A? Average social status, but has a big heart. Okay. Starting to sound like person B is not really interested in dating a person, but more so just dating for the thrill. What, you shocked by that? Good question. Let's break it down. You'll find as you keep living that a lot of people who don't value genuine relationships, platonic and intimate, they're only interested in one thing in those scenarios, and that's the thrill. There are two key elements they're looking for. You know what they are? One term starts with an A and the other with a V. That's okay. The two terms are attention and validation. And don't be fooled by seeing one side doing that. The other side does it too. You ever wondered why one portion of people who claim they're looking for a good person seem to always be choosing the bad ones? It's because those particular folks are not looking for a good person. They're just looking for a good time. They're looking for a challenge. Even some, they want a person where it may seem like they won't be held accountable for their actions. That last bit messed you up, didn't it? I get it. First things first, remember that not everyone does this kind of stuff, but there is unfortunately a significant number that do. The seek of the thrill often relates to the host attempting to build their ego, which consists of social status, financial status, free meals, even legal gain, and with little to no effort from some of them. They will basically take others' sanity in attempt to stabilize their own. Some people even allow it to happen in the hopes they'll win that ill heart. Kind of reminds you of that old Europop artist song, doesn't it? This is why, when considering a mate, really take the time to vet through that person's character. Look at how they behave when they get what they want, when they don't get what they want, how they handle boundaries, whether or not they're following the virtues of respect, common sense, wisdom, etc. A lot of times people give us clues on where they are in their maturity. The problem is we don't pay attention because we're too busy either trying to get attention and validation from them, or we're getting wowed by the fact someone is giving us attention and validation. But at what cost and time frame? Just like all money ain't good money, all attention ain't good attention. You got folks on dates taking free meals from people that may show genuine qualities, and then they get ghosted by those folks who were never interested in them to begin with. Just an eat and run kind of stunt. So what were they interested in? Well, until they find someone they're really interested in, they'll express interest in the current attention and validation. And then when they come across someone they're actually interested in, they seem to get ghosted by those folks. So when some people ask that question of where all the good people are, chances are they know where they are. They're just not looking for them. Or the definition of good people is actually different from the actual denotation. They're not going to be upfront with intentions like that. They know that kind of behavior is taboo. But yet they still do it as if it's okay. That's why you gotta vet through people. Even with platonic relationships, you gotta vet through these folks' behavior to determine if you can really have them in your circle. Pay attention to the warning signs and resolve issues as soon as possible, but also properly. If they can't be resolved properly, walk away. Great question. The way you can tell which is which is by how they handle accountability. If they accept accountability when they're in the wrong and make the corrections related to morality and what's right, they're one step closer for consideration to be kept in your circle. Consistency of proper demeanor and growth in wisdom is another positive sign. Also look at how they enforce accountability. If they address it respectfully, without overstepping the limited authority they have, and with the intention to help the person in question to grow, green flag. If they're applying accountability only to others, belittling them into infinite guilt and despair, and just on a mission to destroy others' sanity, that's red flags all around. Exactly. When we ask where are all the good people, sometimes, not all, but sometimes we have to ask, where are we actually looking and who are we considering? And some people will try to counter-argue that as blaming the victim. But did you know there are some times a victim can actually be blamed? Oh yeah. When we keep making the same bad decisions. There's a statement that goes like this: fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Now let's put that in perspective. We give each person a chance to prove themselves as genuine or not. When they show us their true colors, particularly flags of being fake and ill-willed, we have a choice to make. Upon indication of no desire to resolve, we either banish them out of our circle to protect ourselves from any additional harm, or we make a conscious decision to let them stay and continue their ill will in our lives without consequence. How many times have people been given warnings about their bad behavior, the affected party witnessed it with their own senses, and then made invalid excuses for those actions? If no accountability is enforced and we just complain without action when we're able to walk away, we're making a conscious decision to stay. So we're still attracted to something and we're allowing it to overpower logic. Here's something else about this. You know someone is disciplined when they're consciously and consistently examining themselves to apply wisdom in order to be more responsible in their actions. In other words, they're being proactive. People looking to just blame others for their own choices, always looking to be pampered, and in the case of intimate relationships, refusing to be faithful and committed. Why are we trying to get attention and validation from folk in that mindset? What's more, why are we providing attention and validation to mindsets like that? Is that not enabling? The answer goes back to our previous conversations. They are conflicted. For some people, they're not even aware of what attention and validation they should be seeking. And for some cases, they did not receive proper validation. And in some other cases, they received corrupted forms of those. But even so, our own vessels give us warnings when something is wrong and the kind of attention we're actually getting. So when that happens, we have a choice. We either seek to resolve that conflict or continue in the dysfunction with the conveniences presented. But we are oblivious or negligent to what that convenience costs, and the foundation eventually collapses from the excessive weight. The weight? You remember the term baggage? That's the weight. See, the thing is, many of us have a lot of damage we never healed from. What's worse, we oftentimes front like we have healed, but the fruit of that labor still shows lingering dysfunction. And when there's evidence such as that, how can we say that we've truly healed? Most of us are just putting band-aids on those conflicts, aka wounds. Then we got broken structures related to perspective, and we're also infected. Using attention and validation to bury the reality of the injuries is the band-aid. Attention and validation alone is not going to heal it. What's the infection? Corrupted thinking, such as blaming others for our choices, refusing to release ourselves from authority we don't have, stuff like that. And anyone who dare tries to tell us reality, we demonize and shun them. Many of us would rather remain in lies than being freed by the truth. But as said before, dysfunction has a breaking point. Well, in order to walk in truth and what's right, they require us to be responsible. In other words, we got to grow up. Those that don't want to grow up will seek relationships with those of the same mindset. But here's the catch. They end up getting burned by those same people. At the same time, when some of them meet people who are seeking growth, they push them away. Why? Because people that take relationships seriously practice accountability and therefore enforce it. Those who don't like accountability know this, but they'll still try to run the game, especially when they feel like they have a bunch of options. Overall, if any of us want a chance at any successful relationship, the following structure is essential. First, we need to be honest with ourselves. Before we can even heal, we first have to acknowledge that we are broken and need healing. We also need to accept that there are things we need to purge if we want to heal. Second, we need to listen to proper reasoning. Our emotions will lie to us in the midst of our desires, and they are never to override proper reasoning. We cannot seek just any attention and validation. Furthermore, we cannot take someone else's sanity in order to stabilize our own. That doesn't work anyway, and we don't even like that being done to us, so let's knock it off with the hypocrisy. Third, apply the corrections and stick with them. Truth and accountability are actually quite valuable, and proper practice thereof can help bring us to peace. Are there residual consequences when we make poor decisions? Sometimes. But we can at least be at peace when we walk in correction, in which we're no longer engaging in those poor decisions and switched over to the correct ones. That actually earns respect. Sure, there will be some who will hold grudges, but that's their own problem. Now, some may find that rude and insensitive, but here's the truth. What people do to us is their accountability. What we do with our actions after that is our accountability. We are responsible to protect ourselves, not just from other people's misconduct, but also from our own misconduct. Just because we are hurt does not permit us to remain in dysfunction. There's a specific mentality it's called. Guess what it is? Exactly. The victim mentality. The victim mentality is one where the host wants to remain in those details of being hurt, whether physically, mentally, and emotionally, and they just want to be taken care of. They just want to be pampered, coddled, patronized, whatever you want to call it. They have developed an unhealthy desire for attention and validation and refuse to stand on their own feet. What's worse, just as they were exploited, they then go around exploiting others. A portion of folk in the context of relationships are attached to this thrill of revenge and power, in which they want others to pay for what that one person did to them. Why don't I have a girlfriend? Well, 2 reasons. 1, I haven't met that one yet, and 2, I'm not really interested in dating. No, you're not gonna find me a girlfriend. No, you're not. There you go again with that stubbornness. Why are you pushing so hard for me to have a girlfriend? Please, society can barely handle even one of me. But all joking aside, I get what you're saying, but I'm good. Plus, I'm making sure I don't rush into anything. Final lesson. Many people know what they want in intimate relationships, but they don't know or refuse to accept what it costs. Are you aware of what it takes to be in an intimate relationship? Take some time to really understand that, and come to me if you have any questions. That's one of the main things next to people's lack of healing that messes them up. And I'll tell you this, if you're not interested in someone, tell it to them straight and respectfully. Don't be leading them on and ghosting them. Now, if they're being unrealistic and unreasonable without resolve, then cut the communication, sure. Just don't cut communication with exploiting intent. Don't exploit their kindness, and protect yourself from being exploited. It goes both ways. But we cannot prevent evil by doing evil. If the relationship is not working out, end it quickly and respectfully. Can't say we hate drama, but yet we engage in it. One more thing. No one can make anyone happy. That's really up to the recipient. And when we are broken, which means we're emotionally unstable, confused, conflicted, and full of narcissism, that mentality will still grade expensive and emotionally available efforts from others as a D or an F. When graded as a C and sometimes even a D, from what some of my peers have shared with me, usually that person will return to them sometime after they leave when the next relationship fails. At that point, you're just one of their go-to people. You're just a rebound. You're the one they go to when they find out the grass is not greener on the other side. Indeed, it is cold. That's why I said not to exploit people and don't allow yourself to be exploited. So before any of us get into any intimate relationship, we have to heal first and get a solid understanding on the proper structure of that kind of relationship. Jumping in prematurely, we set ourselves up for failure. Got it? Very good. Hey, anytime. So, Battle Royale in 10 minutes? That's fine. That's good. You really want to think about it. If you have any more questions, you know where to find me.